Hello there, everyone, and welcome to the Disconnected Esports Showmatch series. This is match 2 of our 8-match series. My name is Harry, and I'm here joined with my co-caster, the fabulous Kazoo. Kazoo, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Harry. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well as well, and I'm really looking forward to the game that we've got on tonight, Kazoo, because it's between a couple of teams that I know fairly well at the moment. That's right, we've got Catface taking on Paranoia, and both of these teams look pretty stacked, Kazoo.
Yeah, they're pretty good looking teams. I'm very hyped for this one. We're starting off on Busan too. So Control, in my opinion, the
Yes.
best map type.
Yeah, we will be starting off on Basan, but before we get to that, let's take a look at our rosters on our team. Or actually, we'll take a look at the map pool first. Obviously, we're starting on Basan. We'll then be going over to Escort, Push, Hybrid, and Flashpoint. And all of these will be decided by the losing team of the map. So it will be a bit of a mixed bag on what maps we get and what styles of play we get on each map.
Definitely.
Yeah, and looking at our first roster here, Catface, we've got Perseus and KSY on the DPS, Gumion on that tank role, and then we've got Jimbo and Axolotl on the support role here as well. And this is a very strong team. Someone that I really want to keep an eye out on is KSY. He's someone that I've played with extensively back in Overwatch 1 and a little bit in Overwatch 2 as well. Phenomenal DPS player and someone who the team can rally around as well.
Indeed. I'm also familiar with this team. Jimbo is quite a good support player, and we're very interesting to see if he pulls out some of his more damage-oriented supports. And also, when he gets off the bench, Turtle Hacks, I think this team has 2 tanks that go in and out depending on the maps. So it's very interesting to watch Turtle Hacks, especially if he's on the Rhine, because he's very, very inspirational and aggressive.
Yeah, I did get a little insider information that Reinhardt would come out if Turtle Hacks gets onto the field of play. But taking a look at their opponents, Paranoia, they're no slouches either. At the moment, we've got Skype on that DPS role, who will get subbed out for Pocky later on in the series. Ashen on that hitscan DPS role. Crockett, Garfmont, and Jada rounding out the tanks and supports respectively. And again, a strong team that looks like they could form a formidable fight.
Oh, definitely. It's going to be a good one, Harry.
That's what we like to hear. And obviously, this is a best 2-3 show match. So we will be going until one team has completed the winning of 3 maps. And given the strength of the roster, we could end up with a bit of a slobber knocker here, because we could go all 5 maps.
That was definitely a mouthful. Yeah, we could. I think it's definitely, it's pretty possible we go and see all 5. I'm curious to see what's going to be played by these 2 teams.
Yeah, well, Basan is one of those weird control maps where everything's kind of viable on it. There's so many different compositions that could be played, but at the moment, we've got 2 very different styles of composition being shown from either team.
Yeah, we have more of a bit of a dive coming out from Catface, whereas we've kind of got that Bastion Mei Sigma on the other side. The kind of like the quintessential Overwatch 2 kind of comp with that Bastion. One of the most broken DPS there is at the moment.
Yeah, I wonder how Guimon's going to get into this. That Bastion could cause a lot of issues.
Yeah, it really limits the field of play as Winston and what you can do. You are way less free to just jump in.
Yeah, well, definitely less free to jump in. We see Gumion at the moment just trying to stall out for some positioning here. But it looks like Paranoia just trying to ignore the Winston there and get onto the back line. They start moving forward. It's going to be a shield bash through, but they aren't able to find anyone until Axolotl finally falls. And that's a great first pick coming out from the side of Paranoia as Catface. They have to disengage. Gumion going down last there, and it should be the first point capture going in favor of Paranoia.
And that's 4 players, nearly 3 players just wiped there from Catface. Paranoia did a great job of rotating around, and Catface supports a little bit too slow to move away from them. They do have that speed boost, but I feel like you could probably see that coming if you're a Catface.
Yeah, you probably can see that coming. We do see a little bit of poke here as we are watching, I believe that is Perseus trying to find an angle, but they're really unable to get anything going. Sleep Dart has been used. Axolotl getting very aggressive, gets the boot back as the just still trying to get some sort of positioning here. Gumion needs to be very careful, dives over onto that Bastion, but it's Axolotl who goes down first. Without the Lucio, they're missing a lot of healing and a lot of positioning. KSY with a pulse bomb in the backline, though, finds Ashen. There is still some ultimates online here for Paranoia, and Garfon's taking down KSY means there's no engage tool, but Perseus gets a trade back with a headshot. Lucio down now for the side of Paranoia as Gumion still trying to keep the fight going, but will get taken down as Axolotl is there, but should also fall quite quickly, although it seems to be a little bit back and forth right now as Perseus is on the point trying to take down Garfont. There's the amplification matrix being used. Perseus has taken down the Baptiste, but Axolotl once again has fallen. Now it's just going to be some positioning onto the point here from Paranoia, as it will be another fight when in case he gets staggered out late.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was a pretty good defense there from Paranoia. Their comp is definitely going to win out in those long extended fights. They've got more burst, and Catface really requires that engage. And Perseus, hanging back to get picks, which he did, but he's just going to get irritated like we're seeing here. The speed boost Bastion coming in. It was a fat nade though from Jimbo.
Yeah, it is a fat nade, but it's a dive into the backline from Gumion, who gets the nano boost, and both supports from Paranoia go down. Catface have out-rotated the side of Paranoia. It's going to be the Blizzard thrown in from Skype, who found Perseus earlier in the fight, but the May gets taken down, and without that player there, it will finally be Catface who take the point, and they will get some percentage on the board.
Yeah. I was thinking that was quite a late nano, actually. The first nano of the game at 80%. And that was because, that first fight didn't go well at all for Catface. Jimbo didn't get any angles to heal Gumion up. So we're going to see if we can be able to build that nano up again and cycle it off Gumion's Primal Rage for KSY's Nanoblade.
Yeah, but still a lot of ultimates online for Paranoia right now as there's a dive into the backline. They're trying to just out-rotate Paranoia, and it's going to be Garfont who falls once again. Sound barrier invested here by Jaden, and Crockett is still holding on to that gravitic flux right now as the Primal Rage is just trying to batter everyone around. In fact, it's going to be Crockett taking Ashen off of the map and finding Skype as well. Crockett with a late gravitic flux will not be able to find anything because of the beat from Axolotl. It will be a boop to KSY as there's no Genji now on the side of play for Catface. And with the barrage coming in late, it looks like this fight is just going to take a little bit of a reprieve.
It is, but they've got to touch the point. Axolotl and Gumion have got to touch, and while, Paranoia's got 3 bodies on there, Catface has got, 3 as well, with Jimmy coming back from spawn in case he came back with the blade. And here it comes.
There's the blade being pulled, manages to find Jaden, gets onto Garfont as well. Crockett went down earlier in the fight. KSY has found 3. Great play coming out from the Genji, and great play coming out from Catface in general.
That's huge. Catface are holding the point with the Winston and Lucio, and they did manage to hold the point just long enough for their reinforcements to come back in a huge blade from KSY. And that was without the nano as well, Harry. It was 3. Massive.
That is massive, and like you said, it's without the nanos. They have it online, basically, for this next fight.
It's probably going to go to Gumion and maybe KSY if he's feeling it. And there's a dive.
Dive into the back line, trying to get onto Garfont's Immortality Field has been used. There's the Primal Rage invested with the Nano Boost, but it's KSY who comes up huge once again in the back line, finds Garfont. Skype went down earlier to Perseus, and Axolotl cleans up with 2. Overtime Wick will start burning down, and it will be the first point going in favor of Catface.
That was really nice there from Catface. I think Paranoia, they tried to do that rotation through the Drummo there on the side, but that was really just perfect for Gumion. They did layer the Winston Primal and the Nano though, but it all worked out with that pick that KSY got, and then just getting pummeled by Nano Winston in a room.
Yeah, they were doing really well from my point of view. They were doing really well rotating around the Bastion. They were almost just ignoring it and just diving straight into the back line. They set a really fast tempo. And Catface now, they're changing their comp a little bit.
They got the Rhine coming out here. But it does look like Paranoia are keeping the same kind of comp. Bastion, Sigma, Lucio.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Again, an aggressive tempo needs to be set here from Catface, and Perseus has also moved over to that Bastion. Just trying to posture for a bit of positioning now. They've gotten up really close straight away. This is great work so far from Catface, but not a lot happening as both teams are just trying to figure out where they can engage. There's the May wall coming out from KSY. It's going to force out the ice block from Skype, so the disadvantage is there. Great pin from Gumion means that the Mayers get taken down, but Ashen finds Perseus and Jimbo's fallen as well. So this fight started off in favor for Catface, but now is going the other way. Great Moy Wall cuts off the immortality field, but it will be too little too late as Jada cleans up the fight with Crockett, and first point control will go in favor of Paranoia.
That is a cheeky little pick there from Gumion, but it unfortunately does leave the rest of your team opened up to a spun-up Bastion with a Sigma Shield, and it's not a very good place to be in if you're Catface. And now in the recontest, it's going to be quite difficult to get past that May Wall plus the Bastion, especially with those Sigma Orbs spamming through that choke. We have a TP coming out there, but half the team is left behind.
It may have been difficult, but they did have the TP. But like you said, half the team got left behind, and it's just going to be shooting fish in a barrel right now for Paranoia as they wipe Catface off the map.
That was a great May Wall. The timing on that TP is a little bit off from Catface. It looks like they're trying to go up through the same again. They didn't have that Bastion Harry.
Yeah, I don't know if I like this. There's the TP being used. Where are they taking it? Oh, they're taking it all the way around to the wing here. Now, Gumion isn't really in a position to shield anyone from the team, though, as they just get pushed onto here. It's going to be Catface getting wiped off here by Garfont, who's used that amplification matrix on the high ground. 2 picks for the support there, and with Gumion going down there, it will be the cleanup for Paranoia. Catface are on the back foot once again.
I'm gonna borrow your phrase there, Harry, and say it again. That was like shooting fish in a barrel. Oh, there's still fight going on in spawn right now.
Wait, Blizzard was invested. They're not going to be able to get this kill. That's a massive wasted ultimate. There's the artillery barrage as well, just to ensure that no one can follow it up. Great play coming out there from Paranoia. Great disengage.
I think Catface is a bit lost right now because they've got half of a comp and they're missing that damage. And here comes Paranoia's Blizzard and catches Gumion. Gumion instantly goes down with KSY should follow.
Absolutely melted, and Ashen has not stopped there either. KSY goes down, 87% has been ticked up, and this round has been dominant from Paranoia. They look so good on this composition. Can anyone touch?
Oh, it's going to have to be Gumion, but I don't think he can get there. Oh, Axolotl does make a touch.
Axolotl just came in from the top rope to get that touch. There's Jimbo using the amplification matrix, but Gravitic Flux has been met in tow. Jimbo found Ashen earlier in the fight. KSY swapping over to that Sojourn, did take down the immortality field. Garfont gets low, gets taken down by Axolotl there. It's going to be Gumion staying alive on the point, finishing off Skype, and somehow Catface have managed to get back into this without using all of their ultimates.
They have, and I think it was that I think that symbol from Perseus managed to stop Ashen from being such a threat up there on the Bastion, which allowed, I think Jimbo to take him down with an amplification matrix. But it is going to be tough for Catface to hold on to this one. They do have KSY and the Sojourn now, but Paranoia have got so much good catch. Someone gets walled. Oh, but a fat shadow from Gumion. That's five people.
Yeah, that's just a massive shatter. It's going to be clean up here as well. KSY finishes off 2. Another fight win there from Catface, and inexpensive as well. Oh,
there's the pause.
Australian internet wins once again.
The Optus incident.
Oh no, not again. We don't need it again. Interesting though to note is that Crockett's over on the Junker Queen now.
I think he is, because into the Reinhardt Sigma probably isn't as good, so maybe they're trying to change up the pace, but get a little bit more aggro, and force Gumion to even more focused to be on Gumion with a Bastion and a Junker Queen in his face. It's gonna be very hard for him to do some damage.
Yeah,
we'll see.
They're trying to do a rotation right now onto bridge here. They've managed to make it out. Turret form has been used up, and KSY now is just trying to shoot from this long distance here. Garfont gets a little bit low. There is some ultimates on side for Paranoia, but there's the overclock being used by KSY. Gumion is the first person to find a kill, though. It's going to be Jaded who goes down. Axolotl gets traded out, but there goes the immortality field as well as Jimbo gets to the high ground and gets right in the face of the Bastion, says, I am the threat, not you. Takes down 2 with that amplification matrix, and once again, Catface win another fight fairly convincingly.
Oh, and there's the Blizzard coming out from Skype, so that might be a hero swap on the side of Paranoia. But yeah, Catface saw that turret form used with the Bastion. As soon as the turret form was over, they teleported their Rhine in. And yeah, Jimbo always fun to watch on a support because he makes it look way more like a damage character. Like most supports in Overwatch 2.
Yeah, There's another Earth Shatter coming up online right now as well, Kazoo. They're there. There's two people who get
Cancel
caught.
me.
Immortality Field is down. Skype gets low, but it will not be able, they won't be able to finish anyone off here, will Catface. They do charge through here, though. It's Goemon who finds Skype with that pin. Ashen gets booped off the map there by Axolotl. Garfons does get a trade out to Perseus, but KSY is free firing from the high ground. Goemon taking down both supports, and Crockett means that map one's going to go in favor of Catface. But it wasn't exactly convincing from them.
No, they did take a while to find their footing, and they did a couple of comp changes. But once the ultimates came online, they managed to do. They managed to hold on spectacularly. And this might be the shatter at the end. It's not showing the shatter, but that shatter from Gumion manages to climb up the stairs and cancel the beat on the side of Paranoia. So they didn't have their beat coming into there. With 3 people down, it was an easy cleanup for Catface.
That's insane gameplay coming out from Gumion, and not the person who I thought would be on Reinhardt here. Obviously, we had some info that Turtle Hacks is generally the Ryan player.
Yeah, maybe Turtle will be sitting on the bench a little bit longer. I don't know. But that was admittedly, there was no shield on the side of Paranoia, but there was still a Junker Queen, I think, which you can cancel the ult or redirect it a little bit, and also a Mei who, if you got enough presence of mind, you can also block that with a Mei wall or the ice block. But Gumion finds the shatter, taking down 3 and canceling that beat, which was crucial.
Yeah, no, canceling the beat cannot be understated
No.
at all. It was probably the only ultimate that could have turned that fight around. Artillery Strike isn't one of those ultimates that can do that, and though it was used, it wasn't finding any kills there.
Not at all, Harry. So very interesting there from, that was, it was a banger of a second map. Chad, do you like watching Bastion comps or playing against Bastion comps?
I don't personally. I think Bastion is rough to play against, but we're going on to Rialto. I don't think we'll see much Bastion here, Kazoo. I think Rialto is one of those maps where you're going more long range.
Yep, there are a lot of sightlines, and it does look like from the first couple of picks, we see Widow Surgeon Sigma on the side of Paranoia, moving away from that Bastion, the open spaces.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a double sniper comp come out here. Although, like we said, Turtle Hacks has been subbed in, and so we could see more Reinhardt gameplay coming out.
He does tend to play the more creative tanks, so I'd love to have a look at see what he's doing.
Well, I'm hoping to see some teleporting Reinhardt shenanigans here. Crockett's gone over to that D-bearing. Yep, there's the Reinhardt, but no teleporter just yet. Perseus sticking on that Hanzo. More traditional poke comp coming out here from Paranoia as well. Kazoo, is this what you expected to see from Paranoia?
Yeah, definitely on this map, 100%. I didn't expect to see the Zen. I'm gonna be honest with you, Harry. I thought maybe a Mercy here or a Kiriko, but Zen, also very good poke champ. But on the other side of things, we have a Ryan Brawl with Mei Hanzo.
I wonder if we're going to see a potential spawn camp, or if they're just going to wait until everyone gets underneath and then rush down to the point. Yeah, it won't matter. We're going to see what they do very, very quickly, though, Kazoo.
We will indeed. I think you might be right, Harry. They're going to wait for the cart to push up. Perseus is going to be on Widow duty, dueling Skype, and then the rest of the team are going to drop on the cart and see whether they can kill the backline.
Yeah, Sonic Arrow was already used to scout out where Skype was rotating to. Ashen gets a little bit of an arrow to the knee right there. Goes down to half health, and Skype getting very aggressive with their positioning, pushing up very far forward. It's going to be Ashen who's just trying to locate an angle, trying to stop that Hanzo from peeking around the corner there. But Skype now is peeking around the corner, and it looks like nothing really happening at the moment.
This is Harry. This is where the cut is going to stay until one of those snipers finds a pick. Oh, here comes the Diva though. Doesn't commit to it. Drops off. Gets caught. Axel does go down though, but I think losing the Diva means that Paranoia won't be able to take this one. That being said, Ashen finds another one. Finds Turtle. So Catface is forced out, and they might lose their Mei of KSY here. Oh, I think I've lost Harry. Harry's gone, so I'll be doing a Pognu. Anyway, so Paranoia do manage to find another pick onto Axolotl, so it does look like Catface will have to give up this first point. They're down to Lucio and they won't be able to re-engage without him. But he's definitely going to try. It's going to be difficult because they're fighting, you know, in two fronts. They've got half team on the high ground. And that Rhine shield is nearly down. Turtle Hex does commit the charge and goes down to Garfonts. That's the first point there for Paranoia. Pretty quick, great from their DPS, especially Ashen with the Sojin. I'm not afraid to get up in there with that power slide. I thought it would be over when K-Rocket was demeched, but that wasn't the case. So, nothing really changing on the side of Catface, except we do have KSY off Mei onto the Hanzo, probably to pressure the backline a little bit more. But it does look like Paranoia they're not going to give up the high ground for free. And we do have two ults pop, because that Sojin ulti popped. And Turtle does go down after hitting the charge, try and, you know, make some space for his team. So that's going to give him a little bit more free push. And Ashen finds a pick onto Perseus in case KSY... Ooh. Axolotl does get the pick onto the Widow, but KSY very in danger of going down here with no deflect. That's just more free time for Paranoia to push. We do have a Dragon and a Window coming out from Jimbo. He's going to have to try and keep Turtle Hacks alive. Does manage to keep him up, which is, you know, a good stabilization here from Catface. They're going to have to retake the high ground and try and, you know, stay out of the sightlines of Skype while also denying that high ground to that, you know, Zen, Bap, and Sojin.
Yeah, that's a good idea there from Catface. And I'm back! Harry be back!
Welcome back.
Now, and that's a headshot from Perseus onto Skype. That's something to return to. That's certainly an image. Just trying to keep this high ground at the moment are Catface, as they're not trying to let any sort of positioning go. There's the Dragon Strike being used. Pin through everyone! Axe goes up the map. That's... creative to say the least. Skype gets a return kill there, though, onto Jimbo, and without that Baptiste, it's going to be really difficult for Catface to really get any sort of foothold on this defense.
Yeah, but Turtle Hacks, that being said, Turtle Hacks does come back pretty quickly. Axolotl goes down yet again, getting caught quite a bit. I think their focus is a little bit more on Axolotl this game, Paranoia, and Turtle Hacks is on the point. Shadow coming up, though.
Shatter is coming up. In fact, it's online now. We're just going to see it get laid down. It gets used straight away. Only catches onto one. The Immortality Field gets used immediately and saves their teammate. It's a pin onto the Diva. Where is this man going? Where is Turtle Hacks going with this pins right now? It's going to be the Dragon Blade being pulled right now by KSY. Finds one, finds two, finds three. Fighting back is KSY, not allowing their team to fall. 4 kills for the Genji. Is it going to be a 5k? No, Jimbo takes it away. Great work there from KSY, and a little bit of attitude as well.
That was such an odd sequence of events. Axolotl came zooming back from spawn. I don't think anyone was in danger of dying. Did drop the beat, and then Turtle Hacks dropped the shatter, charged into 5 people, and then KSY cleaned up with the blade. Maybe not the best use of 3 ultimates, but they did manage to get the wipe.
Yeah, and it's good right now for Catface. They are able to hold them here. They have the corner control, but once again, Turtle Hacks, a little bit too creative, gets taken down. Dragon Strike was invested along with the amplification matrix, but they're really unable to find any kills until Crockett gets a little too aggressive, gets taken down. There's the overclock being used. KSY gets sniped point blank into the face right there from Ashen. Now they're just trying to finish off these kills. It's going to be Jimbo who falls down onto the low ground. Immortality Field gets used up. Where has Turtle come from? Ashen gets taken down, but it's Garfons who found 2 earlier in the fight. Is it going to be a 3rd for the bloodthirsty support player? It is, as Garfons cleans up Catface. Another odd sequence of events.
I think Paranoia paying Turtle something to to get caught so much. He unfortunately does go down there in a very awkward position, which leaves Ashen, you know, free to press that Q and, you know, jump around and hit those snipes with that charged Sojin weapon.
Yeah, and it's so good. It's so satisfying to hit those shots with the overclock from Sojourn. Not that I do it very often, mind you.
Turtle's in, Harry. Turtle's in.
Turtle, no, Turtle can't be back in. Turtle, what are you doing over there? That's not where you need to be. Now it's going to be Catface without their tank player. KSY falls a little bit low. Pulse Bomb was used earlier in that fight as well, but we weren't really able to see if that managed to catch on to anything. Ashen finds Jimbo, who was in the back line once again. Axolotl taken down, and Paranoia is steamrolling through this 3rd point so far.
They are indeed, and it's mostly which Catface not having their tank with them, and he's down yet again. Unfortunately,
No.
Gets caught there with the with that Baptiste ult, the Ryan out in the open.
No,
Doesn't
someone's
look
gonna
like
touch!
Paranoia.
No one touches!
Oh.
What is going on, Catface? What?
It seems like Turtle's in 6th gear and the rest of Catface are in 4th, or maybe it's the other way around. But he's getting
Like
caught out an
negative
awful lot.
one gear.
Negative
It's
one.
like negative one gear. No, someone's gonna touch. At least if they were in 4th gear, they'd be moving forward. No one went forward there, Kazoo. I don't know what just happened.
There might have been a little bit of confusion about where that tank was again. If there's
Uh,
anyone in production who's got the skills, can I get a timer on? Can I get a death timer for that Reinhardt?
we need the stats right now. No, it was such a weird map up. I mean, Turtle, you said they were creative on the Reinhardt. I didn't know how much I needed to believe you with that, but now I understand. Now I understand.
Concept of space and time kind of go out the window. And yeah, so
The
unfortunately,
basic understanding of the universe is just shattered by the fact that Turtle is pinning in to 5 members of Paranoia.
yeah, that about sums it up. So unfortunately, they lose. Catface lose second point to the Ryan getting caught, and also their defense. That first part of the third point again, Ryan went pinning in, and on that last fight as well, he gets caught. Well, maybe that might not be his fault, but he gets caught with that full amplication matrix all by himself. But they are on the attack now, Catface, and it doesn't look like much has changed up for them. But we do have an Ana on the side of Paranoia and a Tracer instead of the Widow.
I love that straight away Turtle Hacks used his pin to get across onto the high ground. Because look where he is now. He's already in the face of Paranoia, but it's Skype who gets the first kill, finding Perseus in the back line. What are you doing, Turtle? No, someone call ESEC right now. Someone needs to get onto that line because this is just absolutely bizarre gameplay coming out from Turtle Hacks, Axolotl, and the rest of Catface are going to have to be forced to retreat here, hoping that their tank can come back and create some space.
He might be, in a bit of a bind, Harry, because he might be wanting to secure his place on the bench. And then maybe Gumion wants to come back and play.
You know what? That could be it. If you're Gumion, at least you know that your place is secure at the moment. Skip is just looking for a way to get into that backline right now. It's pretty hard to take down both Jimbo and Axolotl, but manages to find Perseus, although it's Crockett who finds the first kill. There's a pin, so it's going to demech Crockett. There's a successful pin coming out from Turtle Hacks, and ends up in a pretty safe position as well. Should be able to get healed up. Perseus on that high ground now. KSY takes down Skip, but Jimbo has fallen as well. So without that Baptiste, you'd think Turtle Hacks, will have to play a little more passive. No more pinning in, surely.
No more pinning in, and Paranoia does take a bit of an odd fight. 2 people inside a room where they can't be seen by the Ana or the Zen. And Catface do clean them up. They do trade. The trades come out favorable for Catface. Perseus does go down to Jaded though, so they will definitely contest this.
Yeah, Jaded with some counter sniping right there. It's another pin there from Turtle Hacks, but once again stays relatively safe. KSY finds Skype. It's going to be the nano boost onto the Zenyatta. Now Jaded trying to move forward. Has those Orbs of Fury going absolutely ham, but finds absolutely nothing for it. Amplification Matrix gets used there by Jimbo, who had already taken down Ashen earlier in the fight. The Dragon Blade is online, but I don't know if it's going to need to be used there as Jaded gets taken down. Self-destruct gets used by Crockett. It's going to be blocked up there by Turtle Hacks, who finally uses their shield. Pins in, finds Garfont, and it's another fight win there for Catface as they take point 1.
It is indeed. There's very interesting narrative choice onto the Zen. Maybe to keep them alive a little bit to try and get that Transcendence, which I think Jaded did have, or maybe decided not to commit that because they thought the fight was already lost. But it is Catface now moving up, controlling the high ground, and Paranoia will be trying to move them off.
Yeah, it's Perseus using that dynamite and getting up towards that Bob as well, so they will have that online. It's going to be interesting to see how Jada uses this Transcendence, whether it's going to be for the Bob or the Dragon Blade. Right now, nothing really happening until someone starts going forward. There's the Bob that gets invested and the Sound Barrier as well. Transcendence is met in return there by Jaded, but it's going to be Crockett falling very low. But Skype found a little flank angle and gets onto Perseus. Now Turtle Hacks trying to pin him once again. Has the Earth Shatter online. Are they going to let it loose? Not just yet. Dragon Blade is what the ultimate that gets used first. But again, Jaded takes it down. Kishida comes down. Hits 3. Both supports are all so low. Jaded went down, but Turtle Hacks couldn't finish off Garfont's clutch sleep dart to keep themselves alive, and it will be Paranoia who keeps themselves in this second point defense.
Despite one comp being a Ryan Brawl and the other comp being, a bit more split with the DPS and stuff, that was all over the shop from both teams. There were 1v1s, 2v1s. Skype did get a nice little flank angle into Perseus, did get cleaned up by KSY. And Paranoia come out on top again. And that Zen, I think, of Jaded is doing a ton of work there in the back.
Yeah, Jaded is absolutely pumping in damage right now. Obviously, not a lot of healing needs to be done by the Zen, but that Discord and that damage is crucial. Not much really happening, but Nano Boost, as soon as I say that, is invested onto Crockett, trying to get onto Jimbo, but it's Perseus who gets caught out a little bit, manages to come back to safety, and again, it's just repositioning right now.
That was good there from Cafes. They managed to chunk down Crockett in between that and those defense matrix and force the Turtle. Here comes Turtle with the pin.
Jimbo with the amplification matrix on the flank, finishes off Skype. Now it's going to be Perseus trying to find some value with it. Gets Ashen really, really low, but is unable to get the finish off. It's going to be the Dynamite invested into that room there. Can they get onto point here? Paranoia do get the touch, and Jada takes down Jimbo. Now it has to be a disengage coming out from Catface's Axolotl Wolfall late in this fight.
I don't think you ever take that trade. You're right for the Diva. Just because the spawn of Paranoia is so close, whereas the spawn for Catface is you've got to charge all the way out there and then walk your way around a corner, and so I think Paranoia take that trade any day of the week.
That's a brutal headshot onto Jimbo, or a brutal shot onto Jimbo right there. There's no Baptiste, there's no KSY on the Genji, and that's another easy fight win before it even really starts for Paranoia.
They're going to try that again as well, because Jimbo's going to have to walk across the bridge with KSY. Ryan is only now moving back to maybe try and shield the Baptiste across, but there's a potential to get picked again.
I've just hit an absolutely filthy direct helix rocket there onto Perseus. They do manage to get everyone across the bridge this time, but Turtle Hacks is still incredibly low. Lots of ultimates for both sides. Anti-Nade goes onto Turtle Hacks and onto Perseus as well, both falling very, very low. There's the Sound Barrier being invested, as well as the Dragon Blade, but a Transcendence is met in return, cancelling out both of those ultimates. They can't really get aggressive here. Shadow comes down. It's going to be Turtle Hacks pinning Ashen off of the map, who used that overclock as well. Jimbo found Crockett, the self-destruct didn't get anything, and Axolotl gets Skype. Jaded does get a trade back, but it's too little too late, as it will be Catface who take this fight and take second point, and Perseus is having a little nap as a little bit of a celebration.
I think Paranoia tried to do some fancy rotations there. They think they said their Diva and maybe their Soldier or Sojourn behind, but unfortunately, that was just the go button for Catface. Lucio speed boost and that ult and into the Genji Blade. The big shout from Turtle Hacks there, taking down 2 and pinning someone off the map.
Turtle once again pinning in, creating some space. This is good play actually coming from Turtle. He's creating a fair bit of space here. Crockett gets D-Mech there. It was a Bob used there by Perseus. It's not in the best place, but not terrible either. It's going to be the Nano Visor being invested here from Skype and Garfons. They do manage to catch on to 2 members there. The flank pays off, and Paranoia fight their way back into this.
That was at the very end of that Visor, managed to get those 2 kills. They did a good job, Catface, of LOSing that Visor. Unfortunately, there was a well-placed nade there from Garfons, which managed to catch 3 people and allow Skype to get those kills.
Yeah, Skype getting those kills is pretty crucial, but Jimbo is there holding onto that amplification matrix. It's going to be Perseus who finds Ashen, so it's a straight disengage almost coming out here from Paranoia, but they managed to catch Skype out. Skype's trying to run for their lives. They almost get away. In fact, they do, and Crocker gets Perseus. Skype does go down very late in that fight, but all of that energy, all of those resources diverted into killing that soldier could spell disaster right now for Catface. There's the amplification matrix being used. They're trying to keep Turtle Hacks nice and healthy, but it's Jaded who finds Axolotl. The Dragon Blade is online for KSY, but are they going to choose to invest it? It doesn't look like it, as Jaded on the flank has found 2. The Zenyatta for Paranoia is bloodthirsty and is looking for more.
Yeah, Crockett is just, living for so long and allowing Jaded to just pump that damage in and making it very difficult for Turtle Hacks to get in there and take that Sigma down. And they won't be able to get a touch here. It would have to be KSY touching, or Perseus on the Tracer.
Yeah, Perseus gets a touch, but it's going to be Turtle Hacks going down very, very quickly. Dragon Blade's there, but it looks a little bit limp when Jaded uses that Transcendence. Ashen cleans up the fight. Map 2 goes in favor of Paranoia, and Catface, they look like they're reeling at the moment.
They are indeed. That was dominant from Paranoia.
I just, I, I'm in shock at the moment, Kazoo. I'm not gonna lie. This is that KSY Dragon Blade that we saw earlier in the map as well. I'm dumbfounded though. That may have been some of the most inspiring Ryan gameplay that I have ever witnessed. For the worse though. I don't know if it was really for the better there, Kazoo.
It sounds like feels like my ranked games. That one guy just locking Ryan in, limiting the enemy backline.
I'm I want to try and rationale it a little bit. Maybe the whole strategy is meant to be that he just goes at 11 at the whole time, and the rest of the team needs to follow up on him. But it didn't look like that was the strategy, or if it was, everyone else wasn't on board with it. Because, like we said, it seemed to be that Turtle Hacks was on sixth gear, and everyone else was on -1 because no one else wanted to follow him in that deep.
Maybe the reasoning could be, and it could be Harry, is that he might be playing Ryan like a pick class instead of a tank. So you go in with the Ryan, and if you catch someone with the charge, and you trade the 1-for-1, and you say, well, because I've gone 1-for-1, and I've distracted everyone for about 5 seconds, it's worth it. And you're kind of counting your team to clean up. But if you are, you're a little bit too far ahead of your team, and they're not able to give you a hand, then it just turns into 5v4 constantly.
Would you say it's worth it though, Kazoo? So they might be saying that it's worth it. Would you say that it's worth trading your Reinhardt for whomever they pin onto? Because at that point, I don't think it's worth it, especially with the respawn so close.
Yeah, on defense, maybe you could kind of maybe rationalize by saying, "Hey, my spawn's way closer. If we take this fight a little bit further away from the capture point, even if we lose it, we still get respawns, we still get a fight." But on attack, it's kind of risky, and you're kind of saying, "Okay, I'm banking on my team to basically clean up and use my 3 or 4 seconds of window of distraction to get some picks, or chunk someone down and get some good positioning." I don't think it's
Hmm.
too worth it on escort. And we do see Telex subbed out for Gumi on here.
Yeah, well, and that's what I wanted to mention as well is that Gumion is back in here for Esperanza and push here, so we're probably going to go back more towards that dive style composition.
I think so. We
Yeah.
could be seeing a dive, or maybe more, it looks like we're seeing a Junker Queen brawl mirror.
Ooh,
Actually, a mirror comp.
I'm interested in this. This has me very interested. I think this could be an all-out brawl between both of these teams because we've seen some competency in this style from both teams.
Oh, definitely. And I'm eager to see Junker Queen. Junker Queen, I think, is one of the most fun tanks to play, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I would 100% agree with you. I think it is an incredibly fun tank to play.
There's a lot of skill expression, especially with the use of the abilities, target choice, and trying to get that rampage onto as many people as possible to reset the cooldown.
Yeah, it's all going to come down at the moment to how the DPS play, I think. I think you need to really look at those Sojourns as we get the engage coming in from both teams here. It's going to be the shouts used from both players. It's going to be Paranoia, who look like they're losing out here, especially with Crocker going down early. Gumion getting really up in everyone's face right now. No one's really stopping them. And with KSY and I believe that is Perseus getting up with their Junker Queen and finishing off Garfons, it will be a fight win here for Catface pretty convincingly for this first fight.
That was kind of strange because we see both teams on mirror comps. Both teams played that very differently. Catface kind of ignored K-Rocket and zoomed straight past them onto the rest of their team. K-Rocket was kind of left in the dust and I think unable to get any picks, while Catface forced the rest of the team off and then turned around to deal with the sole Junker Queen.
Yeah, and look at Gumion keeping this choke point to themselves. Both teams have used the shouts. It's going to be a knife that gets everyone back in, and Gumion is going to be the first to fall here. That's crucial. Jada now has the sound barrier online, but it's going to be Garfons who takes down Axolotl, and no ultimates required for Paranoia as they'll take this second fight and get Philip moving back in their favor.
And if you're on the Ryan there, or even Ryan, Winston, maybe Orisa, definitely hold the choke, sure. But Junker Queen, it gets a little bit difficult because if you're holding a choke as Junker Queen that close, you're making yourself the target for everyone to shoot you with, and you don't have a ton of damage mitigation. Outside of the commanding shout, that's it.
Yeah, well, there was the commanding shout from Crockett there, but it's Perseus who gets found out. They were just too far in the back line there. Now both teams are trying to find a way in. That could be the way in. It's going to be the Casino Rush from both teams. It's going to be Jada using that sound barrier, though, and Axolotl didn't have it online just yet. Jimbo does go down, so they're down to support here. I don't know if they want to invest in this fight. It's going to be the overclock coming out from Ashton. Axolotl, KSY, and Guimon all go down. Garfon's picked up 2 in that fight, and it's going to be another fight win for Paranoia as they have easily taken the lead here.
You do. That's not too bad for Catface though, because they have traded just 1 ult for 3, but they are going to lose that first point, and Paranoia is going to take the lead.
Yeah, well, they might not get the checkpoint here. KSY gets the touch before they get to the checkpoint. There's the deflect being used, but KSY goes down. The rest of the team wasn't on board with that. There's the overclock coming out from Perseus, so they still want to try and win this fight. Jaded needs to get out of dodge. Doesn't quite do it. Perseus with that overclock snipes them down. Now it's going to be the engage coming in from the rest of the team. Great knife from Gumi on there. Takes down Ashen with that cooldown. There's going to be the carnage coming through. Skype falls as well. Gumion finds 3 in this fight, and it will be Catface bringing it back now.
I am very happy for Catface for that, about that fight. KSY does get the touch, and like you said, goes down, but Perseus bails him out there with that Sojourn ultimate. And Catface are going to try and see if they can get the checkpoint and unlock those closest spawns.
Yeah, Rampage from both teams online, but only the sound barrier from Axolotl and the Dragon Blade from KSY there. This could be really difficult here for Paranoia. They need to try and get through. KSY looking for the opportunity to use that Dragon Blade. There's commanding shout from both teams. Crockett trying to get into the back. There's KSY pulling the blade. Finds Garfons looking for more. Can they get more? KSY finds 2 more. Of course they can get more. The Dragon Blades have been huge in this series so far from KSY as Catface take the checkpoint and in turn will take the lead.
He has been a bit of a demon there on the Genji. Axolotl does invest the sound barrier at the end of that fight. I'm not sure that one was needed. I think everyone looked relatively healthy on the side of Catface. Could have been something they might regret a little bit later, but they've got the lead, and it does look like, you know, Catface are in a good spot here with 2 ults up versus, you know, just that blade there on the side of Paranoia.
Well, there's the Kitsune Rush being used, and there is that blade that you were talking about getting pulled. Can they get onto anything? So far, not really, and Skype gets taken down to that blade that we talked about, finding absolutely no value as KSY is still on a tear on this Genji, finding 2 more in this fight. Jimbo finished off Crockett, and Philip continues to move for Catface as they get more percentage on the board here.
That was just the Kitsune Rush invested. I thought they were going to be having to use the Junkerwin ultimate, and Skype is off the Genji onto the Tracer now. Paranoia do have both support ultis coming up versus just that Junkerwin ult, so maybe they might want to take it a little bit slow, Catface here.
Yeah, well, there's the Rampage being used. It's going to be cleansed, and the sound barrier is there as well. Overclock coming in from Ashen as Crockett found Perseus, and Axolotl goes down to Skype. Garfons finds Gumion, and with Ashen taking out KSY, this fight is all but over as Philip is going to start moving back towards Paranoia's side of the map.
Is that his name, Philip?
Yes. Yes, his name is Philip now.
It's law. It's canon.
It's canon. Papa. It's the Papa Opara canon.
I think you're pretty happy if you're Catface about that. Again, it's a 1 ult for 3. That was just Rampage for both support ultis plus that Sojourn ultimate. And here they are back on the engage.
Yeah, and that was so quick coming out from Catface. They organized themselves really, really quickly. Knife doesn't really find anything, and there's the overclock now coming in from Perseus, finding Ashen. Crockett falling very, very low. A couple of shots from that overclock is all but needed to secure this fight. But it should just push everyone back here, and they've got the bot moving, so now it's on to Paranoia to try and stop the bot. Crockett tries to step up to the plate, but gets taken down. Jaded steps up next. That's 2 for 2 from Perseus as KSY finishes off Garfonson. Philip is going to continue moving the barrier here for Catface, 99 meters and counting.
Good stays there. That was such a long, drawn-out fight, which favored Catface so much. Paranoia just, you know, they're delaying themselves into that, you know, for a retake.
Kitsune Rush invested, Dragon Blade as well. Can KSY find more with this ultimate? He's been so prevalent with it so far, but it's Jimbo who finds Ashen. KSY really not finding the value, but forces out a lot of cooldowns there. Jimbo gets quite low, I should say. Jada gets quite low. Perseus, though, finds Skype, who was trying to flank around on this Tracer. It's not worked out for them so far. With this Tracer going down, there's no pressure on the backline. Someone has to touch the point. Crockett commanding shout. Gumion in return uses it as well. Ashen takes down Gumion though with that railgun shot, and it will be the entire side of Catface just disengaging.
Hopefully, Catface, if they can all get out here, they should have a relatively quick recontest with Gumion coming right up, courtesy of those close spawns. They will, however, be running into that rampage, the Junker Queen ultimate, and a sound barrier from Jaded. Axolotl did invest that barrier, but unfortunately wasn't able to save Gumion. And on the side of Catface, they have nothing. It's just that rampage they're working up, that Junker Queen ultimate they're working up to.
You want to finish this fight quickly if you are Paranoia as well. That time bank is whittling down. Skype looking for a pulse bomb in their backline right now, trying to potentially force out the Suzu before they do that as well. Jaded now has the sound barrier. There's the rampage that comes through, catches onto KSY, who gets taken down immediately. Jaded did also use that sound barrier, so there's nothing in return for the rampage from Crockett. From Gumion, sorry, who catches on to 3. Axolotl finds Ashen, but Gumion goes down there a little bit too far in after that rampage. Axolotl gets the trade out on Jaded, but Skype finds Perseus. Now it's just back and forth. Suzu was used, but it's unable to save Jimbo, and finally this fight looks like it's going in favor of Paranoia as Crockett cleans up.
That was a massive ult from Gumion. I think he connected onto 3 or 4 people with the Junker Queen ultimate. All of them were antied, and that was after the sound barrier had been used by Jaded. Unfortunately, it was a bit late in the fight and there was no cleanup available. But I think you're still okay with with this if you're Catface. You've got more ultimates coming into this, and you still have that lead in the bot.
Yeah, all eyes on Ashen and Skype right now. The DPS with their ultimates trying to find something. Skype gets a little bit low here, but is able to back out just quickly. It seems to be the DPS and the Lucios just trying to jostle for that positioning. There's a Kitsune Rush being used, and Ashen in return uses their overclock. Now they're just trying to keep their tank all healed up throughout this Kitsune Rush. It's going to be Crockett who gets very, very low, but Skype gets the first pick onto Perseus. Garfons has built up towards their ultimate, but Skype's killed too. They may not even need it in this fight. Gumion gets a little bit too far forward, and it will be cleanup here for Catface as it's 3 kills for the Tracer from Paranoia.
And there's the power of that Tracer there in the flank. They're just in such a great position to harass Perseus, harass Jimbo, and Jimbo can't help Perseus out. Has kind of leave him for that 1v1, which is a hard gig if you're a surgeon to try and hit that tiny hitbox.
Still 2 fights left to go here. Perseus using that overclock, manages to find Ashen. It's going to be the Dragon Blade invested as well. They find Garfons, no Suzu available, which means KSY is free to go crazy. 3 kills for the Genji once again with that Dragon Blade. Insane gameplay coming out from Catface, and there's only 30 seconds left.
It is. They only have 30 seconds left, and I'm not too sure actually, Harry, whether they should just leave the bot there and make it harder for Paranoia to come back and get him. But they are pushing the bot through, so there will be one more fight, I think.
Yeah, they wanted to see if they could secure a bad spawn, maybe for Skype, but unfortunately that's not the case. 98% on that pulse bomb is Skype. There's a lot of ultimates coming up from the side of Paranoia here, as they need to try and win almost 3 fights in a row to get anywhere here. Crockett jostling for this positioning on round the clock tower here. It's going to be commanding shouts from both teams as the speed boost comes in. The engage is there. Jimbo falling very low. Suzu gets used. Jimbo goes down, but Garfons gets traded out as well. It's going to be the pulse bomb and both sound barriers invested, as well as the rampage coming out from Crockett. Are they going to be able to clean this up? Not just yet. It's Gumion finds 2. Crockett goes down. Jaded as well. It's KSY and Axolotl standing tall right now for Catface. Skype does find KSY, so it's still an all-out brawl. Skype is the only one left, though. They gotta find Axolotl before they get taken down, but unfortunately it will be the Tracer falling first, and it will be Catface who win map 3 and go up 2-1 in the series.
And what a last fight that was, Harry. 2 members on the side of Catface getting dropped before that sound barrier, but they still managed to pull out the win. I think it's largely thanks to Gumion and those ultimates.
Yeah, Gumion's ults were absolutely insane, and even just their neutral gameplay, like, this is clean from Gumion. The target
Very
identification, clean. The aim, the cooldown usage, it's all textbook.
It's very easy. It's very easy to miss cooldowns of Junker Queen, or use them suboptimally because you got so many. It's so easy just to toss stuff out. But like you said, in that play of the game, we saw very clean there from Gumion, knife throw, rampage, and of course the aim. And no main tank aim over here. That was pretty good there from Gumion.
No main tank aim indeed. Going into our next map now, Kazoo, is a hybrid map. I don't think they've chosen it just yet. Oh, it's going to be
It's Midtown.
Midtown that we go to. And Turtle Hacks has been subbed in.
We do have the
Again.
Savant and the Reinhardt back in the business, ready to rumble.
The Savant of the Reinhardt. I like that. I like that a lot. I wonder what we're going to see from Turtle Hacks this map. If we're just going to see the same charging aggression that we saw in the last map, or maybe he's tempered himself a little bit.
I think after it, if I was on a team and I did that, I think my team would definitely make sure would definitely make sure that I knew a repeat of that performance. Probably not in the best interests. Uh, but I don't know. We're probably going to see them be quite aggro here on the Midtown if they're going to be running the Rhine. We're probably looking for a Rhine Sim and a Lucio, maybe a Reaper here, but we're probably going to go with I think the Hanzo with that comp that they were playing before. But we'll see.
He's just said in the game chat. Obviously, the stream cannot see it, but he's just said in the game chat it will work this time. So I have high expectations suddenly for Turtle Hacks. In fact, he's hovering over the Doomfist right now, but obviously this is just pre-match. You know, we'll probably be baited a fair bit here. Midtown is a really interesting map to try and make Reinhardt work, though. There is some enclosed spaces, but that second point really difficult for a Reinhardt sometimes to get any sort of positioning.
It is. Personally, I hate the first point, to be honest, as Ryan, because your choices are you TP onto the point and kill their tank, and that kind of leaves their DPS open to sit on the high ground and plunk your team down. Oh, we do know we're gonna see the Doomfist here. I was having a look at watching one of their scrims before, and they do actually run Doomfist here. So we will see the
Really?
Doom come out. Yeah.
That's interesting. So Doomfist into the Sigma, almost pokey style composition from Paranoia. I wonder how this is going to play out. I wonder how Turtle Hacks plays this.
It'll be interesting. I didn't spectate their defense. I only caught the offense. But it will be interesting to see because we do have the only person who can actually go in with Turtle Hacks is just KSY and at that Echo, and you don't really want to commit to a super deep dive because you don't have your one mobility cooldown. So it's gonna be interesting to watch and see how they play this one.
Yeah, and I think this is almost like the old Wrecking Ball compositions from Overwatch 1 with the Brig Ana, the Echo, and the Ashe as well. There's a lot of poke damage that can be done, but they have to get into these positions here, and Crockett is going to be trying to shut them down. It's going to be just poking and prodding right now. There's Turtle Hacks going straight in, trying to get onto Garfons. Will not be able to. Gets discorded. Immediately taken down. The anti-nade is there. Perseus finds Garfons, but the Immortality Field saves Crockett's life for now until they get a little bit too aggressive. An Axolotl base to the face takes down that Sigma. Ashen does get a trade onto Perseus, but again, it's all just jostling for position. They can't really keep any of it. Casey gets Ashen very, very low, but gets taken down instead. That's a great return kill, and now it's going to be the respawns that start coming in here for the side of Paranoia as Catface needs to disengage and stay safe, but Axolotl taken down means that this first point should all be over.
That was not a bad first hold there from Catface, but KSY going down, I think kind of sealed the deal there. This time we do see Turtle Hacks going with that Doomfist. He does create enough distraction and enough resources to use to keep the backline alive that Catface managed to trade some kills and still hold the point. But that Zen of Jaded is in the back free firing. Currently, the only one with ultimate, fastest person building ultimate is a Zen the game. It shows you how much they're doing.
Yeah, they're trying right now to get back onto Turtle Hacks. Turtle Hacks does go down, and KSY was taken out earlier in this fight as well, and has made the swap over to the Sojourn straight away. I think this is a good swap. We see some cleanup coming in here from Paranoia, but they've jostled this position firmly away from Catface, and now Catface are on the back foot.
It is so hard to recontest when you've got a dive tank and DPS that don't have a ton of mobility. But Turtle Hacks does go in, and Axolotl does find that bash onto Ashen. They do lose the tank turtle though, and the Nano Boost comes out onto the Nano Brig.
Yeah, Nano Brig with Rally as well. Immortality Field is used, and Jaded has used that Transcendence as well. Axolotl gets so low. There's the Amplification Matrix from Garfons on the high ground here. And without the Brig there, it's so difficult for Turtle Hacks to really get anywhere. That Amplification Matrix is keeping everyone held down. What is that punch from Turtle Hacks? Forces Jaded off the high ground. That's tremendous work. Sleep Dart onto Garfons. A flanking Jimbo is there trying to support their Doomfist. Takes down Garfons. Instead, now the high ground is firmly in control of Catface as Jimbo finds 2 in this fight. Perseus takes down Skype, and the point is just going to be caught underneath the bridge here, despite a trade from Jaden.
That was quite quite a confusing fight up there. That we did have that nano break and the rally popped, and Tettle is on the Ryan now. No more Doomfist back on the Ryan.
Oh dear.
Dear. No, he says this time it will work.
Oh dear.
We'll see.
I'm curious as to what the positioning from Turtle Hawks is going to be like here. They're just trying to posture around this high ground. Maybe we're going to see a pin coming through from the high ground here, but there's a lot of ultimates from Paranoia, so they could just be really aggressive and push into this backline if they wanted to. KSY needs to be careful not to get caught out. Never mind. Skype just finishes them off straight away. Gets the dash through. There's the rock coming in from Crockett. Doesn't find anything. Skype, though, gets Perseus. And now they're in the backline. Skype very, very low. Gets anti-nated. 1 HP taken down by Axolotl, but the damage has been done from
they
the
can
Genji.
hold.
They didn't need to hold because they're still pushing the point.
I thought Catface, they may be able to recontest there, especially with the tank still alive, but he goes down. They're still going to be able to touch. The Bob goes in for the touch, does manage to touch and bum that Sigma out the way. He gets melted though.
Bob gets absolutely destroyed. It's going to be an overclock from both sides as Crockett uses their Gravitic Flux, takes down Axolotl. There is the Transcendence. It's more just lighting, to be honest, here from Jaded. It wasn't needed, but they'll use it and secure the second point, and they are looking so dominant right now, Paranoia.
Yeah, they are, and their Bob managed to touch the point, but I don't think it actually lived for a second there, Harry. It just got melted. And then, with those 3 ultimates on the side of Paranoia, the Sojin, Sigma, and that Transcendence, just too hard to recontest. Tiltax goes down yet again to K-Rocket.
That needs to stop, though, Kazoo. There is a point of being funny and memey, and there's a point where you're feeding, and I think Turtle Hacks is past that. Oh, peas. We have peas coming in.
Pause.
Yeah, interesting. I love reading game chat sometimes when we have pauses coming through. Right. If we're looking from the side of Catface, they have that nano boost online. You're probably going to see Turtle Hacks pin in and get that nano boost, you'd say?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not. Well, you're probably going to be going for really 2 targets, which would be the Baptiste and the Sigma. But the Baptiste does have that mobility. He's got the mobility option. So if Garfont is in the right position and does manage to to jump out of the way, he will be able to avoid that nano boosted Ryan. K Rocket is likely the only member they're going to be reliably able to get onto with that nano boosted Reinhardt. We'll see, but definitely look out for maybe trying to catch the back line and also that Sigma with that nano boosted Ryan, and he'll definitely will be sped in as well by Axolotl. Making space for
here we go.
Perseus.
Here we go. We're straight into it. I think they're just going to try and catch on to Crockett and build up that Earth Shatter here. Nano Boost. We need to wait for it. There's Crockett. Nano Boost comes in. The Earth Shatter is almost up. They have it. They layer it down, but they're taken down before they get into anyone there. Garfont does take down Jimbo, but it's a Dragon Blade being pulled there by Skype. Gets onto Jimbo. Jaded finds KSY, and once again, Catface. Their plans have all fallen to pieces.
Okay, in all fairness to Turtle there, he got melted. Even with the nano boost and that steadfast passive, he just got absolutely destroyed. That Immortality Field saving K-Rocket, and nothing from the Shadow because it was cancelled.
I am in shock and awe at what I've just seen Turtle Hacks do. They rolled out, got immediately melted on this Doomfist. Now it's going to be an amplification matrix from Garfont on the flank. Turtle Hacks will try and get the last minute recontest, but Jaded is all by themselves in the back. Has found 4 in this fight. Skype cleans up with the last 2 respawns coming in, and that's going to be the 3rd point captured for Paranoia. And Catface, once again, without Gumion in their lineup, they look a bit lost.
Yeah, none of the engages have really gone their way. And, I'm going to say, I think a lot of it is actually down to the Zen. Because Zen, playing a tank in Zen is so annoying, because Zen can sit back and discord you, and suddenly you are 30% less tankier than you are. And there are a couple of fights there where they were trying to get onto Jaded, but that Zen passive, where if you melee someone, it knocks them back, it actually makes it so hard for a melee character like Orion to get onto the Zen. Or even Doom sometimes, because, it forces you out of position. With the Hog coming
Yeah.
out on the offense here, maybe.
No. Okay, where is this payment coming from? We need to do like a bank account trace. We need to make sure that there isn't some unauthorized payments coming through, because I don't agree with this Hog pick in the slightest. I think Hog is a very underwhelming hero.
I gotta agree with you there. He might just be, just thinking about what they're going to pick during Hero Select. If anyone's interested, T1 is 1-up over JDG. If anyone's watching LoL Worlds. Come on. If you're not watching
Or
live, you deserve to get this one spoiled. Anyway, we're back into it.
yeah, and we've got the Pharmacy, and Turtle Hacks has gone over to that Wrecking Ball as well. KSY on the Tracer now.
Yeah, a little bit of the old, 3 DPS ball kind of thing coming out here. I like it.
Yeah. I like it. I guess we're considering Jimbo the third DPS
Yeah,
in this
definitely.
instance. They're just looking for some sort of positioning here. We've got some rockets being fired in from Perseus, from long range, trying to catch on to just anyone and spam out some positioning here as KSY is on the angle as well. Jaded staying very safe underneath the little hidey hole here. Needs to be careful not to get dove on, but Crockett finds Jimbo. And Axolotl gets rocked out of the sky and almost taken down there from Crockett. Garfons finds Perseus. Turtle Hacks goes down. Axolotl does get the res onto Jimbo, but I think it's just for Jimbo to die once again, as KSY has found nothing in this fight. Jimbo manages to escape with Axolotl.
Yeah, it is very tough to play Ana into here because you've got you've got one place you're going to go to heal people, and you have a Sigma in your face. So it's very difficult to actually get value there. They probably have to walk their runner up somewhere and cause a bit of disruption to that Sigma, which is what Turtle is doing. He does manage to boop K-Rocket forward, but he just walks backwards and there's no threat to him over there. Big pick on the Skype though.
Jimbo and Perseus just assassinated Skype through the train there. An anti-nade and a quick headshot finishes off the soldier for Paranoia. And Perseus once more, another headshot onto Jaded. On the high ground control now, Ashen does find KSY, but with Perseus finding 3 in this fight, thanks to the Ash, it is just going to be the fight win. Eventually, it should be the fight win at least.
And KSY does get res, so they're back to full strength, Catface up.
Yeah, Garfons uses the amplification matrix though. Does get taken down, but Axolotl went down as well, so the respawns could start coming in. K-Rocket takes down KSY, but also falls themselves. Jada decides to come back in and try and get a consolation kill. Unable to do it as Perseus takes down Jada, but it's Ashen who finishes off Perseus. Now it's going to be Turtle Hacks trying to keep everyone off of the point. Skype trying to sprint their way onto the point. That's the quickest 100-meter dash I've seen an old man do in a while. Ashen gets onto the point now. The touch is there, but anti-nated, taken down with a pile driver, and it's going to be Turtle Hacks who cleans up the fight, looking much better on this Wrecking Ball pick.
I think the ball suits the distraction pick class DPS playstyle that he's kind of going with, and they're going to get a great stagger onto K-Rocket and Jaded over here. That's probably going to give them half a streets in this phase. So nice from my Catface, and see if they'll notice that Tracer hiding behind them. KSY might be in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, Casey's definitely in trouble right there. KSY gets taken down, and Turtle Hacks as well got a little bit too aggressive, and now they lose all of this high ground position. KSY, once again going for the 1v1 as well, has decided that losing once wasn't enough, is going to try and see if they can get some revenge. KSY now being pocketed by both supports, trying to get the win, but it's Axolotl who gets taken down. Skype trying to find a little bit more value here, but once again, this fight is heavily in favor of Paranoia.
Definitely. This one's going to be, again, very hard to get your Ana into a good position, and when you're running that ball into it, Sigma and that Zen on the other side. And this 4 ults ready for Paranoia, and 4 ults ready for Catface.
Well, there was 5, but KSY whiffs the pulse bomb, unfortunately, not able to find anything. There's the nano boost being used onto Turtle Hacks, but Turtle Hacks is so low already. Really not going to be able to make any use of it. The Skype takes down Turtle Hacks there. Garfons finds KSY. It's the overclock from Ashen, but no one's there for the overclock to really find any value. Axolotl did use the Valkyrie earlier. Perseus takes down Skype, but this is all just constellation kills, as Perseus is going to get taken down, and Axolotl is finished off very humanely.
I'm very surprised that panned out that way. Paranoia took a fight there where it was harder for their backline to see into there and help them out, but they do manage to turn that around quite well. And once again, that Zen, that Discord orb on the Hammond is making it very difficult to play.
Transcendence comes through to resurrect onto Jimbo, who was taken out earlier in the fight. Jada gets right in everyone's face. There's the Bob being used. Crocker gets slept. Body block. Naded. They're so close to falling, but they won't fall just yet. Perseus's Bob finds Jaded, but Turtlehacks gets taken down shortly after using their minefield. Skype hunting down that Wrecking Ball. KSY with the Pulse Bomb gets onto Garfons. It's going to be Perseus now taking onto the higher ground, looking for an angle to get onto Crockett. It's going to be the Grasp being used there by Crockett. They fall so low. Skype was taken down. Jimbo finishes off 2 kills in this fight, and once again, Catface are going to start moving the payload forward a little bit.
They are indeed. They might be able to pick up some staggers here, especially onto Jaded, but the Immortality Field comes out and saves that Zenyatta. And Perseus does go down.
Jaded goes down as well, though. It was a return with the Dynamite from Perseus there, and a little bit of a roll through from Turtlehacks, who does get caught out and taken down, so they will lose the space once again. It's still anyone's game as the high ground's now being taken by Crockett, who just walks towards Perseus menacingly. I mean, I would be absolutely terrified if Crockett was walking towards me on Sigma, but once again, it's going to have to be a disengage for now.
Jimbo is looking for a cheeky pick there with that nade onto Ashen, who does have the power slide to zoom away to safety. But Garfons goes down. He just jumps up there and goes down, and Ashen might go down too.
Garfons just sacrificed himself, essentially. Turtlehacks does find Ashen, but Crockett gets a return kill on Perseus. Now it's going to be Axolotl using that Valkyrie. KSY finds Jaded in the hallway there, and this should be a fight win for Catface. I don't know how Paranoia are going to be able to turn this, unless Crockett is just left alive to do things. No, Crockett should eventually fall. No, wait! Things aren't happening! This can't be happening! Garfons takes down KSY. The Nanoboost was invested onto the Tracer as well. Axolotl went down earlier in the fight. Turtlehacks goes down, and somehow Paranoia have managed to win what seemed to be an unwinnable fight.
They do lose, their Baptiste, and they lose their Ashe. But K-Rocket stays alive for so long, and he manages to soak up enough resources from Catface that, his team's managed to get back for another contest. And now Catface have got to bust through, Sojin on the high ground. The Sigma right in their face, and Turtle's gone down. He's going to get res, though.
Yeah, they're going to have to try and break through without their Tracer now. They do have their Wrecking Ball back. It's going to be a minefield that cuts Crockett off from the rest of the team, but Axolotl's gone down. Antonetto Garfons will mean nothing, as there's an Amplification Matrix being used on the high ground from Garfons. The flanking Amplification Matrix, no one's going to be able to touch. That is map 4 going in favor of Paranoia. And Kazoo, like I said, it is going to be a slobber knocker because we're going to map 5.
I think they're just trying to stop me from watching League. I gotta thank him though. That was some really nice work, I think, out there from. I always think from K-Rocket there right at the end. He's managed to stay alive. They've managed to stay alive for so long that it gave Paranoia that chance to recontest. Is because especially you'd think with your Baptiste and your Ashe both dead, that it's almost a free point. But that nano boosted Tracer just gets melted along with that Wrecking Ball. I think the Zen is doing so much here for Paranoia.
No, Jaded is doing so much for Paranoia, just being left uncontested in the backline and just pumping out damage. I think there were multiple times where we saw 3 or 4 Ks from Jaded just plinking back in the backline. It's really interesting seeing how the Zen is playing with these compositions, especially against the dive style composition that Catface seem to be using a lot.
Yeah, they do seem to be rolling quite well with it, and we're going to be going to New Junk City, I think.
Yep, New Junk City is going to be the last map. Flashpoint is the game mode, and Gumion is back in. And I think this is a good choice here from Catface. I think Gumion's playstyle has so far suited them far better.
Yeah, it does look like that. But it was close, that last map. Despite Paranoia, holding them at second, it was very close, and I think could have gone either way, depending on a couple of different things. But we're on New Junk City here, Flashpoint. I quite like this map, to be honest. I like the idea of Flashpoint. It's quite fun.
Flashpoint. Yeah, I've not had any complaints about at least New Junk City. I've not had any complaints about Sarabasa. I don't particularly enjoy all that much. But I don't mind the game mode at all. I think it's actually a really unique spin on Control, essentially.
Yeah, it is. And Control, I think nearly everyone can agree is one of the best, if not the best, Overwatch game mode. Have you heard they're adding 5 CP? They are. They're adding 5 CP maps. We might see the return of Anubis.
Oh no. Oh no. We're not going back. Surely we're not going back.
I don't know. I don't think Blizzard would just leave Anubis, Hanamura, and was there one more? Just sitting around rotting in the vault?
Oh, there possibly may have been one, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. But going into this, it looks like we're going back to the mirror comps of Junker Queen, but against, this time it's a Mei versus Genji DPS.
So Paranoia are going to have the better lockdown, but, you know, KSY with those dash resets provide a lot of damage, and the Mei wall comes out, doesn't find anything. So it does look like, you know, Catface have weathered the storm and they're ready for the re-engage.
It was a good boot there from Axolotl, keeping everyone back. All the cooldowns were used. Now it's just posturing for positioning. They're looking for a pick here. The Sojourns need to try and find something. Can they get anything? There's a commanding shout being used once again. Suzu comes through, and it's KSY who finds the first kill onto Ashen. Garfons gets very, very low, but it's KSY who's traded out. Garfons does eventually go down to Perseus, but it seems like it will just be a Catface win here as they finish off this fight pretty cleanly.
Definitely, and you know, both of those Mei walls unfortunately didn't find anything. They went up and they were, you know, taken manually down by Skype. And I can't remember where I heard this. I think this was a caster, you know, saying this a long time ago. The reason why that you see Genji in some of these brawl comps is that if you get the dash reset, that's 50 damage going through 5 people. That's 250 damage in a single ability. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, and you build up your ultimate so quickly with that. But speaking of ults being built quickly, Skype 76% towards their ultimate. It won't matter, though, if Jada gets taken down by Jimbo and then the Kitsune Rush is being invested. Suzu was used from the side of Paranoia, but Catface is just running riot right now. KSY kills 4 in this fight. The Genji from KSY is still so clean.
Clean indeed. And that was just the Kitsune Rush they used there. And that was pretty good. Pretty good out of Catface there. I was hoping that they maybe might generate a little bit more ultimate charge, especially on KSY, so they'd have something for this next fight. And it looks like they will. You know, they're 84% played.
There's a commanding shout from both sides. There's going to be the overclock as well being invested from Catface, but it's met in return with the Kitsune Rush. It won't matter because Gumion has already taken down Skype. Jaded falls and at Crockett as well. Ashen does get a return on Axolotl, but this fight is just going once again in favor of Catface. Their raw aggression has just been so difficult for Paranoia to deal with.
It has been, and you know, Perseus has been deadly on the Sojourn all evening. Pleasure to watch. But not very good for Paranoia. I don't think they're very happy with him.
No, and I can imagine Paranoia wouldn't be very happy, but they've got ults for their own now, so they need to be aggressive here. They need to be fast with the Mei ultimate and with their overclock. There's the overclock being invested from Ashen. Now they're going to be able to find anything. Not quite yet, but there's a Mei wall to Gumion, and Gumion's going to get taken down. Now it's going to be Catface without their tank, and finally, it looks like Paranoia are on the front foot in a fight.
We do see the successful Mei wall there from Skype catching out Gumion. It's a shame because there was an escape for him just to his left. Unfortunately, couldn't make it because of the slow from that primary fire. And now they've got to push into a Mei standing around a corner with the wall ready. This one's not going to be too easy here for Catface.
No, it isn't, but they have ultimates to work with here, Kazoo. And it's going to be really interesting to see how they use them and how each team uses them. Now it's a rotation through the corridor here. They get through with commanding shout, but it's going to be their Kiriko who gets cut off. They put the TP out and Suzu as well. But KSY has found Garfons. No team has used ultimates just yet. Crockett takes down Perseus. It's going to be a dash through from KSY, but Gumion is still there holding strong. Ashen takes down Jimbo, but Crockett goes down. Junker Queen on Junker Queen action right there. Great knife coming in from Gumion. Pulls Ashen back. KSY gets the follow-up onto that. Jaded goes down to Axolotl, and the point will flip in favor of Catface, but 75% was ticked up for Paranoia.
They were feeling the pressure. They did get those first 2 opening picks, but it came down, I think, to a 3v2, and Axolotl felt the need to put that sound barrier into that. I did also, you see that Jimbo nearly fell off the map, and luckily had that Kiriko teleport to get him back on there. But yeah, Paranoia come back here. They do have 3 ults, and one of those is that sound barrier.
Yeah, well, there is the Dragon Blade being used. The sound barrier that you spoke about is met in return, but the Mei ultimate is there as well. Rampage catches onto 3 members. Both supports are low, so low, and anti-nated, and Crockett also as well uses their Rampage, gets through. Axolotl gets taken down. It's trading left and right now, but Crockett finds Perseus and then goes down. Jimbo finishes off Garfons, and it will be Jimbo and Gumion left standing, 63% and counting. There's only going to be one more fight left on this control point.
And Gumion gets a late stag kill onto Ashen. I thought it was a great Junk Queen ultimate from Gumion. He does manage to get his off. His off first, and manages to take down a couple more. K Rocket and Garfon did manage to catch, I think, Axolotl out with that one. But Paranoia might be able to get a touch here.
Someone's going to be able to touch it. Jaden might be able to get there. It's a great boof coming in from Axolotl. That's huge. They secure the point and they force the ultimate out as well. The Kitsune Rush not going to be able to find any value, especially with Jaden going down as well. Gumion finds 2 in this fight. KSY trying to finish off Garfon's alongside Perseus right now. Not able to do it just yet. It's going to be Axolotl who picks up the kill instead. Crockett consolation kill onto Jimbo, but it will not matter as the control point has been won there by Catface, and they're going to start moving towards that last one for them.
And they seem to really thrive in the brawl especially with the Junker Queen.
No, definitely, and it seems to suit the playstyle for the DPS as well a lot better. They seem so much more cohesive.
And indeed, and it does look like Catface will be, getting onto that point first, ticking up the cap percentage, and Paranoia just have to concede it and give first cap over.
Yeah, we're going to see an overclock v overclock in this fight right now. Some other ultimates might get built up. Mainly Jimbo's Kitsune Rush may get built up in this, but they have to be careful. There's the carnage coming through from Gumion. Finishes off Garfon straight away, and it's going to be the overclock from both teams as well, but Jaded falls. Gumion finds Ashen. Gumion is just on fire with this Junker Queen. 3 in this fight. KSY cleans up Skype, and this is already looking so good for Catface. They're in such a good position.
Yeah, that was, it was a little bit strange because Paranoia were a little bit split over there. A few of them were in the room, a few of them were off onto the flank, whereas Catface stayed together and was more of a group and managed, to deal with those 3 players in the room.
Yeah, and these fights have been taking so long. Look how much percentage has already been built up. This could be the last fight for map 5. This could be the series-winning fight, and Gumion has their ultimate. Crocker needs to build this up really quickly. Kitsune Rush comes through. Can they disengage a little bit? They can. It's going to be the Susu forced out. Gumion now uses the Rampage, catches on to 2. Jada goes down. KSY with a Dragon Blade. Finishes off for everyone. Garfont is the last to fall with Ashen, and it is going to be Catface cleanly winning. Flashpoint here. Paranoia will fall at the last hurdle, and Catface will win this series 3-2.
Oh, what a last fight. That was so close. But, Gumion and, especially Gumion and KSY are working so well together here.
Yeah, no, and I mean, this isn't even the Rampage that I thought it would be. This is just Gumion doing Gumion things. They're just being involved in the fight. Great play coming out from the Junker Queen of Gumion throughout not just that map, the entire series. But that's not where I would look if I were to give a player of the game Kazoo. I think you have to look towards KSY. As much as I would dislike to say it, I think you have to look towards KSY as player of the match here.
Definitely, those, especially with getting those 3 or 4 man plays. I don't think we saw it on the other. You saw that from the other Genji. I think of Skype tonight. KSY was just on point with all of those blades, and it was just lights out.
Yeah, it was, and I do admire Catface for trying some new things, but I definitely think that this look was their best. This Junker Queen rush with Gumion, presumably being the shot caller in this, and KSY being able to follow up on that, and it made him look absolutely phenomenal throughout the series. But that, with the end of that map and with the end of this series, that's going to be it for us here at the broadcast team. So firstly, want to say a massive thank you to the players who were here today, and to you as well, Kazoo. Really appreciate having you being here as my co-caster. Special thanks to Hypello, who is the man behind the camera, the man you don't hear, but the man who you see the game through. I guess you see it through his eyes. He's been tremendous throughout tonight. And a massive thank you to the audience as well. Without you guys, these streams would be a lot less fun. So massive thank you for coming by and showing your support for the OCE community. Is there anything else, Kazoo, that I missed?
No, I think that's it. You've thanked everyone. Again, always a pleasure to cast alongside you, Harry.
Alrighty, guys. And with that, like I said, this was only Series 2 of this Showmatch series. So if you want to come by for the next stream and watch the 3rd Showmatch, please come by. It will be just as epic as this one. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely night.